Welcome to Top Deck City. My name is Grim, and here's the final product here of this Emoti Celebrant of Bounty Chaos Commander deck building that I've done here. So she has Cascade. It's 5 mana for a 3/1, and then spells you cast with converted mana cost 6 or greater have Cascade. Now, initially, I was just going to build a deck to try to protect her so that I can get those triggers. But instead, I just decided to throw in a whole bunch of stuff that I never get to play with and see how it works. It's a, it's a, it's a goofy commander and a goofy Simic deck, and I think I'm just going to have fun with it. So what I ended up doing though was I broke down these categories. This first category I have are cards with a spell or converted mana value of 6 or greater. So I put 20 of them in the deck, which just seems absolutely ludicrous. But I'm in Simic, so I also have 15-ish, 15 plus ramp cards. So anyway, these are the 20 cards that I have in the deck that are 6 plus. So Galta, Apex Devastator, Treasure Cruise, the Magic Mirror. I got this goofy full art foil that I've been wanting to play with, so I'll give that a shot. Temporal Mastery. Take some extra turns. Dawnglade Regent. Be the Monarch. Beanstalk Giant. That counts as one of the ramp cards, but I didn't include it in the ramp section. Thorn Mammoth. Meteor Golem. That's my cat yelling in the background. Overflowing Insight. River's Rebuke. He's really meowing. Progenitor Mimic. I thought this guy would be kind of fun. Just make copies of creatures. These ridiculous creatures. Carnage Tyrant. I had him sitting around for a while. I wanted to put him in something, and this deck feels perfect. He's 6 mana. Can't be countered. Sakashima's Protege. Rampaging Baloths. Kogla the Titan Ape. Bane of Progress. Oh yeah, I don't have a lot of artifacts in here either. Warden of the Woods. He was one of the cards that was part of the Chaos opening, so kept him in. And then Lurking Predators. And the last card, because that was 19, is actually this next section, which are the cards that care about 5 or 6 mana casting costs. So Brinlin the Moon Kraken, Gillanra, Caller of Wirewood, Thunderous Snapper, and Thrix the Sudden Storm. So those are all my high mana cost stuff. Now this is where the curve gets weird. So here's my ramp, this stack here. And I try, and I included a lot of cards from the packs that I opened, just because they just fit the idea of what I was trying to do here. So open the gates. Embodiment of Spring. I wanted to get some more blue cards in here because it was just too easy to really build this deck to be like mostly green. So I put him in as a ramp card. I figured why not. Wayfarer's Bauble, of course. Lotus Cobra. 3 Visits. Rampant Growth. Thought Vessel. Sakura Tribelder. Roiling Regrowth. Harrow. Farhaven Elf. And she's foil. Cultivate. Elvish Rejuvenator. Decided to keep him from the M19 pack. And Quandrix Cultivator. Cultivate and a Cultivator. Next section I have here is my removal. How I win the game is with all those high casting cost cards. So it's not like nothing fancy. Just get those big guys out and let them go to town. Progenitor Mimic will help with that, though. And there is one other goofier card that I think I can use as a win condition. But Nature's Claim, ram through. Casminus Transmutation. I decided to keep this card actually from the War of the Spark pack over the other card I had chosen. I thought this one was actually better. Wilt. Reclamation Sage. Manglehorn. Amphin Mutineer. And Thrashing Bronodon. I ended up swapping him in for the Merfolk Fetching card, whose name I can't remember, because it turned out there wasn't any other Merfolk besides Tatiova in the deck, so decided to get that instead. Next section I have here is the card draw section, and there's a lot of these too. Preordain, Mystic Remora, Brainstorm, Eidolon of Philosophy. Had to pick something from Theros that was the best one, and it's not too bad. Late game, I should have enough mana to actually use that ability, so I'm not too upset about it. Growth Spiral, Lightcrafter's Bestiary, Garruk's Uprising, Salundi Vision. That was the Zendikar Rising card I kept. Golden Ratio, Strixhaven card I kept. Looks pretty good. Draw a card for each different power among creatures you control. Primal Apathy from Ikoria. Fact or Fiction from Modern Horizons. A lot of card draw cards. I ended up keeping this guy, Muse Drake, from the was that Ravnica Allegiance pack, or Guilds of Ravnica, whichever one it is. Just because I needed more card draw, and I was like, oh, this guy's not too bad. I can cascade into him, draw a card. It is what it is. I said I'd play with it, so I'm going to play with it. Urban Evolution. And then, of course, Tatiova. And this last section I have here is just, basically like weird stuff that I included that I just wanted to play with, that I don't usually play with, just because I either think I don't like it, or like Exploration, for example, I think is a busted card. But in this deck, it's going to work out great. So, Exploration. Scroll Rack. This is a card I just never use and decided it'd be kind of fun to play with in this deck, since I will cascade, and having control over what I cascade into I thought would be fun. Quandrix Command. This guy is a part of my win condition here, this Augmenter Pugilist. So he's a 3/3 trample, and as long as you have 8 or more lands, he gets +5/+5. But it's his backside that I think was really neat, which is choose target creature you control. Each other creature you control becomes a copy of it until end of turn, except those creatures aren't legendary if the chosen creature is legendary. So I figure with like Galta can get pretty stupid with this echoing equation. And then Mystic Confluence. Mystic Confluence and Quandrix Command I put in here because both of them are counter spells, but if I cascade into them, I don't screw myself because I can choose these like bounce or draw effects, or counter, or put a +1/+1 counter, or shuffle cards back into my library. So I didn't want to play with blue counter spells, but then I was like, oh, you know what? I can play with counter spells as long as if I cascade into them, it doesn't mess me up. And so that's where I went with those. And then the last part is the lands. A lot of these lands are actually the cards I chose from the packs. Mystic Sanctuary being one of them. Gingerbread Cabin. There's a Command Tower. Rhinewood Falls. Turned out to be my Kaldheim card. Simic Guildgate. I put that in there because one of the ramp cards I had allowed me to search for a gate, and I was like, yeah, whatever. I'll put it in there. Get a dual land. Simic Growth Chamber. Desert of the Indomitable. There's my Our Devastation card. Vine Glimmer Snarl. Found a use for this card finally. Lonely Sandbar. There's a Battlefield Tap. I took this from the Modern Horizons pack. And then Temple of Mystery. There's one card I just realized I didn't pull that I now have to go back and get. And that is Coma. So I will put Coma in the deck. I think he's completely busted and will serve the deck well. But yeah, that's going to be the Emoti deck. And We'll see how it goes. I don't have a lot of high hopes for it because the mana curve is so silly, but I am in Simic, so hopefully I can out ramp everybody and then start cascading some stuff. Thanks for watching.